Hello everybody, welcome back to the Forgotten Horror channel. This video is going to be something again that I've never really done before. Now, as you all know, I have quite a few VHSs from back in the day, and I've shown various ones from time to time on different videos, but I've never shown them from like each of the video nasty sections that they belong to back in the day. So this video is the start of that. I'm going to do a succession of videos, starting with section 1, what I've got left of section 1. Now, I've not got all of them because I never saw all of them on back then. But this is just a rundown. And these were the actual genuine tapes from back then, when the video nasty list come out in summer of 1983. These are the tapes that I bought since then. These are the genuine articles. They're not reprints or anything like that. These are the genuine tapes. So with a lot of people interested in the video nasties, there's a lot of buzz right now. I mean, my buddy Darren from Only Sans, he's been resurrecting a few, and there's a few other people as well. So I thought I'll actually show the VHSs rather than, because I know there's a lot of them been released on 4K, and a lot of them have been released on Blu-ray, uncut for the first time sometimes. But this is just going to be a video for my section 1 VHSs, which could have got you in a lot of hot water back in the summer of 1983. So sit back and I will run through these VHSs from section 1. Right, so what I've got first of all from section 1 is running down in alphabetical order like they are on the list. Like I say, I've not got all of them, but I've got a few, and this is what was deemed section 1, which you could get prosecuted. A whole lot of hell came with it. But the first one that I've got on the list is this one. No stranger to this one, The Burning, the actual original Thormi pre-cert version of The Burning. Now, this film, they did a blunder. Thormi MI, this is one of them awkward rare opening tapes. Thormi MI released this uncut, and that's this version, the uncut version. So this was the full uncut version, what you see on your Blu-rays and your 4Ks and your DVDs. This was the full uncut version. So obviously, having a heart attack, they recalled them, and some video shops complied and said yes. And when they did, they would send this version. It's the same box, same tape, basically the same. Everything's the same annoying cover, but you would have a stamp date on there. November the 23rd, 1982 is when they stamped it. So this was trimmed down to, I believe, the original cinema version. So that was the slightly trimmed version. Still a pre-cert, but slightly trimmed. The raft scene and such, and some of the gore to the killing at the beginning. So that was that one. And then obviously when the Video Nasties Act came out, this went completely, and you could get some into serious trouble for owning that one. Next on the list is the Cannibal films. Now, starting in alphabetical order, Cannibal Apocalypse. Now, John Saxon, I tell you, he's landed in some video nasties in his time, John Saxon. But this one, I remember this film was the most surprising to see John Saxon in this, because reading up on this, doing a bit of research on this a long time ago, being a fan of Bruce Lee and John Saxon being in Enter the Dragon with Bruce, it was really appealing to me as a kid when my sister and her friends rented this, because John Saxon was in it, Mr. Roper from Enter the Dragon. So of course I was all over this, but I didn't realise it was like a cannibal film at the time. So it was supposed to be a little bit like First Blood. He thought he was signing up for a war film when POWs in Vietnam, starved in captivity, released for a taste for human flesh. Now, yeah, this is another one that was on section 1. And yeah, it isn't nowhere near as bad as the other Cannibal films that they released, but this one, yeah, there it is, the gold Cannibal Apocalypse. So this was out of the three of them that was on the list. This was the least offensive and the least vulgar. That was Cannibal Holocaust. Next, we went straight to, I've not got Cannibal Ferox. I did own that one, but my dad got rid of that one. Next, straight to this bad boy. Now, this to me is one of the faces of the video nasties. If someone says to me, video nasty, this is among the ones that's burned into my brain. This one. Now, this thing, my God, this is still not available uncut today in the UK by a UK release because of the real life animal killings, and some of the scenes are quite, it's a hard watch, but it's a well made film. So much so that the courts in some countries believe that the people were being killed on camera for real, and the director, Ruggero Deodato, was called into court, and he had to bring the cast of the film to show that they'd not been eaten for real, honestly. But this one, there we go, Cannibal Holocaust. Still got one of the video sticker things on it. Please rewind film. But that's this version is a quite a heavily cut version anyway, but it was still, no, say goodbye. You could go to prison. Well, I mean, our house got raided twice anyway. I'm sure I've told that story, but this was definitely one they were after. So, like I said, I didn't have Cannibal Ferox or Cannibal Man on a couple of us, but when I did get to was another face of the video nasties, Driller Killer. Now, this cover is synonymous. I remember sitting down in the kitchen years ago, before the Video Nasty Act came out, and my sister and her boyfriends was obviously getting all the friends were renting these when my mum and dad would go out. And this cover was in a magazine. Can you imagine this cover in a magazine? Now, there was no internet. There was no advertisement for VHSs or horror films or anything back then in the UK. We had to either watch another tape for the adverts on the end or the beginning, or there'd be little ads in papers. And this had a full colour printing. I can't remember the magazine, something like TV Times or something like that. And I saw this cover, and I said to my sister, we'll have to get that. And indeed she did. And this is quite a depressing film. I mean, that's the most gruesome part of the whole film. But this again, in its original Vipco box. Vipco were notorious for releasing these things. And it's in surprisingly good nick because it's over 40 years old. The security ticker on it, and then there's the video shop phone number there. Phone that number. I'm sure that's long out of print. So that's Cannibal Driller Killer. Cannibal Holocaust. That's Driller Killer. That's another notorious one. Next was an unsung hero, really. Evil Speak was on the list. Now this had the kid who was Gentle Ben. Clint Howard, he grew up to be the ice cream man. He was in Wraith. He was in Rob Zombie's Halloween. Weird looking dude. About a military academy, and they bully him. So this was one of the first computer type films where he uses a computer to talk to the devil, and he takes it out on them. I don't know why it was put on the list. There was a couple of scenes. Yeah, they released wild boars, I think, at the end of it, if you've seen it. And yeah, this was also on Section 1. Section 1. So this was prosecuted, and this distributor was prosecuted, and the video shop that stocked it was prosecuted. Anybody caught it, raided, you could get sent to prison. You know. There you go. And believe me, folks, the poster is not behind the cassette. Long gone. So that was Evil Speak. Next, we jump on to the notorious one, The House by the Cemetery. Now, this is an absolute classic. I love this one. A Fulci classic right here. Out of the three gates of hell, I'd say I prefer The House of the Cemetery. Yeah. This one, Vampix. Absolute brilliant film. And it's like a zombie type character thing in the basement of the lovely blonde child with the bright blue eyes in these films, and how when they move into this house they don't know that there's a creature down in the creature scientist in the basement. But yeah, it is quite a really cool film. So that was also section 1. Nice cover. See, these covers are so nostalgic. So that's another section 1. And now the other one that I think is the most heavy hitter, this thing. Now, I Spit on Your Grave. My sister and her friends were against me watching this one for obvious reasons. But this one is synonymous. Now, this is the only time this film has been ever released uncut in the UK, and this is the version that was released on the pre-cert VHS. That is Demi Moore, by the way, one of her first modelling roles. Big documentary about that. But again, it's in its original box. And there's the tape from Astra Video. The Americans have Astra Wizard, and it comes in a cardboard box with Wizard all over it. But this is our genuine UK uncut. And it is a nasty film. A very, very hard watch. Once you get past the nasty parts at the beginning, the revenge is far more satisfying. And there's obviously a notorious scene in the bath with the lead villain, and it does make you cringe to this day. So it's a very, very powerful, hard-hitting film. I Spit on Your Grave, or released as Day of the Woman. Following the same suit, we're going now for what I've got is another one, Last House on the Left. Wes Craven, Sean Cunningham, Friday the 13th creator and Elm Street creator respectively, came up with this one. Last House on the Left, another nasty, nasty grubby little film about rape and revenge. The parents get the revenge because the daughter and the friends get murdered, with David Hester and a couple of his gang. I did watch this one back in the day. And again, really grubby film. It also stars Martin Cove as a young sheriff. Martin Cove from Cobra Kai as Kreese. So yeah, it's to avoid fainting, keep repeating, it's only a movie. Well, there you go. That was also on section 1. The less known one now, Madhouse. Now I watched this fairly recently. I think it was on Blu-ray, and it was a pretty good film. All the ones that I've shown right now, I think, are really decent films, because there's a lot of crap that was on the video nasty list. All 3 sections. The ones that I've shown are actually all good, pretty films. You could sit down and watch them and enjoy them. This one especially is a good one as well. Madhouse, twin sisters. One's obviously mad and trying to drive the other one insane. Very, very good film. Underrated, this one. But again, you could go to prison and get done if you were caught with Madhouse. Really, really cool film. The next one that had never been re-released before. Now, this one I've shown before in another video. Mardi Gras Massacre. This is one of my VHS. It's in the worst condition because it was up in the loft for 30 odd years. My dad's friend had a video shop in Ashton, and his brother Derek, I've talked about Derek, he used to get loads of pirate videos. Now he gave this to me dad. He said, "Yeah, I'll have a watch of this one." Yeah, you can see the mold on the tape there. But yeah, he gave this one to me dad. Yeah, have a look at this, John. And my dad said, "Total crap." Anyway, he just threw it in the attic, and it was never released until recently. But this was the only time it was released on pre-cert VHS. I was never keen on this one out of all of them. I was never really keen on this one, but it's grown on me. It's not too bad. It's about, obviously, New Orleans Mardi Gras style ritual killings. I think it might be on YouTube or something like that for free. But Mardi Gras Massacre, that was that one. So So there's that one. Moving on to a slightly more sicker one, psychological now. Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, or Nightmare as it was released. Now this thing has got its moments where it's quite... This guy, I mean, he's suffering with all sorts of mental illness. He's OCD, schizophrenia, psychoticism, and he breaks out of the asylum. And after he's doing tests, and he makes his way home to see his kids, his ex, he's like got a new partner, and on the way he gets up to all sorts. He's obviously really disturbed from childhood trauma. Yeah, he's a very disturbed young man himself. There is the rental copy. Now, there's been different versions of this thing released. You don't know which is the fully uncut version because they've had so many different versions been released from different countries. But I'm sure somebody out there has got a full uncut Blu-ray or something by now. But that, again, section 1, you would go away for that one. Me and Anthony covered this a long time ago. One of Anthony's favourites. The Night of the Demon by Iver. This, again, section 1. And this is a very, very worn copy. But this had some moments in it. Night of the Demon. Like a Bigfoot creature gone wrong in its original box. Night of the Demon. Not a bad film, actually. It's very, very dark. On the VHS picture, as you remember, it was always really dark, and the aspect of the picture aspect ratio was small. But now it's all being cleaned up, and you can see it on our TVs of today, all cleaned up. It's not actually too bad a film. Now this one is crap. This one is crap, but this caused so much controversy. This one did. SS Experiment Camp. Now, I was never a fan of these type of films. There's another one, Love Camp 7, on the list, and I didn't bother with that one. Never even bothered with that one. But this one, I picked this up back in the day again. I cannot remember liking this one. Out of all my section 1s, or in fact most of the VHS I've got, this one I'm not a fan of. It's crap. It got into all sorts of mischief with the cover. It got into all sorts of misdemeanors. SS Experiment Camp again. But that would set you back. Yeah, just Google SS Experiment Camp. It'll come up with all the issues they had with that. They tried to re-release it some years later, and some of them only got re-released in the year 2000. The year 2000, can you believe that? That's how bad the laws were in the UK. So SS Experiment Camp. One of the people's favourites here. Tenebrae, Dario Argento's Tenebrae. Again, starring John Saxon. Amazing. The axe scene in this is an amazing scene. And again, a really, really good film. Solid film. Most horror fans would know this, but few people remember that this was actually on section 1 and banned. Section 1 prosecuted. Still got the the guarantee. There we go. Tenebrae. Has it got a... Oh, it's got an important. Be kind, please rewind. But there we go. That is Tenebrae. Great film. And last but not least for my section 1s, what I've got needs no introduction. Fulci again, Zombie Flesh Eaters. This was the strong uncut version. They did release another one which was slightly trimmed without this sticker on, and this one is a daddy of... It's up there with the most classic zombie films ever. The eye splinter scene, you know. And then when you look at this, the zombies, they really do look nasty and gnarly. If you zoom in right there, you can see faintly the red for strong uncut version. Again, Vipco. But every time I watch one of Fulci's zombie films, it's like I can always smell how rotted they are, and the effects look well worse. The effects are more gory and sickening than what Tom Savini did in Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. But that, yeah, zombie flesh eaters. So there we go. That was what I've got from section 1 on Pre-Cert VHS. And I would still be in jail now if I was caught with all these back in the summer of '83. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will be back again with what I've got from section 2. And, yeah, I hope you're all having a great new year. So, from me, see you soon. Cheers.